the Go Berserk with Email podcast with Navy nuclear engineer turned email software developer, Troy Broussard. So calm.
I'm pissed off, but I'm telling this because I am teaching you how to think differently and how to test differently.
So patient.
And Ben, that's put $500,000 into this company too, is being told that nobody can find the goddamn bug.
So charitable.
I'm going to start paying bounties every time somebody finds a bug. We're going to deduct $10 for that week.
So trusting.
Do not assume that anything works. Assume that nothing works.
And so sweet, it makes sugar taste just like salt.
I want to play into the sexiness of marketing automation, but I also want to slap the complexity of it.
The Go Berserk with Email podcast begins now.
Troy, my man, where have you been? I've missed you. I feel like I haven't seen you in a million years.
Man, I've been singing that song, On the Road Again. Just can't wait to get out on the road with all my friends, right? I have been on the road, went to Oklahoma, and, that's what we're going to actually talk about. It's a good roundabout tie-in to today's podcast topic, Mr. Jonathan.
Yeah, man. I'm excited to get into it. Let's go.
All right. So, I get these questions that come in, and one of the questions that came in the other day, I thought it was kind of fun because it was said, what's the most unusual thing that's happened to you as a result of daily email in your business? And, the truth of the matter, there's a lot of odd and peculiar benefits that come from the practice of daily email. And this road trip is kind of an example of that. So what I mean by that is, when you practice daily email, there's an inherent relationship building process that goes on. And this is what, the tactic chasers never understand. They try to look at it as just give me the formula, give me the tactics, and, what's the ideal length and 600 words. And they want to reduce everything down to a tactic. And it's not a tactic. Daily email is a strategy. And strategically, you're building up deep quality relationships. The very nature of writing email every day means you do a lot of it. And in doing a lot of it, generally you get better at it. If you don't, you're probably not in business too long, and that works itself out too. It's a good thing, right? And I don't mean that to pick on anybody. It's a good thing. Like, why not prove that this is not the business for you? The best way to do that is to get in there and get a lot of iterations. If you go to karate class, once a month for 10 years, and it takes you 10 years to figure out you're not very good at karate, it might be a lot better to go to a camp for 30 days and do karate every single day for 30 days and find out you're no good at it. At least you figured it out inside of a week or two and quit the class early than having drug it out for 10 years once a month, right? And this is the litmus test of daily email, is that you get better at it and you build relationships. And the peculiar benefits of that are just beyond fathomable if you allow yourself to go down the rabbit hole. So, I have in my low stress options company, we have really tight relationships with my clients there. We have a community, the most active community I've ever run. It's like super vibrant and a lot of engagement and excitement, and people are posting every day. And so we have a really tight-knit group, right? Well, one of the people that was that still is in the group and is doing really, really well with it is someone that's been on my list for years. And Tim has been just an awesome client for all kinds of my products over the years, uses several products that Ben and I have, is a client of Ben's, is a client of mine. And he joined into the options program and has done just incredibly well with it. I don't want to reveal numbers or make any claims or any of that nonsense, because that's not what this is about. He's done really well with the program. And we've had a relationship business-wise for years. He's always been an ideal client. And then last year, he had this really fun kind of communication with me. We were back and forth. We were just chatting in email. And it was just this fun conversation. And he said, we had a really good year in the business, and I'm going to do something kind of cool and got some big bonuses for my kids. And all three of his sons work with him in the business every day, all within 20 feet of each other all day long. And, they've got such good relationships. They all go out to dinner every Friday night together too. Like, it's like they truly are just good people and have that strong family base and relationship. And so we were just talking kind of dad to dad, back and forth in email. And he said, I'm going to give him a really nice bonus this year. And this was like towards the end of the year. And, it was significant. It was I don't want to, again, get into numbers, but it was a significant bonus. And he said, I'm going to do that. And I said, that's cool, man. I'm glad for him. I'm glad the business is going well and you can take care of your boys and stuff. And then he came back a few days later and he said, remember what I told you? I'm not going to do that. I'm like, really? He's like, no, I'm going to do it different. I'm going to buy a license for all three of my boys in the Low Stress Options site and in the program and your training. I'm going to buy a license for each and every one of them. And then I'm going to tell them the rest of their bonus they only get when they open up their brokerage account. Once they get the brokerage account open, I'll wire transfer in the rest of their bonus and I'll fund their trading account. And he said that that's what he was going to do, right? Well, then later he went and added his wife as well and bought another license for his wife. So his entire family has joined the program and they've all paid their way in. He didn't ask for an affiliate discount. He didn't ask for friends and family discount. He didn't ask for anything. He paid full price for all of his family. And he said, look, I know I could have got an affiliate or whatever, but he said, man, this program's so affordable and it's so transformational in my life already. And I want it to be that way for my sons. And I want you to have the profit. I don't need any discount on it or anything. Just heart of the earth, good guy. Right. And so this relationship is all because of email. It's all because of email. He got to know me, to trust me, to know my character through the stories and connections of my emails over the past years. That fostered a friendship that led him to join into some of my coaching programs, that led us to meet kind of virtually online and be on Zoom together and help him out with some things in his business and talk about this or that. And over the course of that, the relationships gone deeper to the point that I said, you know what, dude, I am so impressed you got your whole family in on this. I want to come up there, meet you in person, and let's hang out for a little bit. Let me help you and your sons. And
really?
Yeah.
Really?
So
I didn't know you were so social, bro.
Yeah, so that's why I went to Oklahoma. So, I made it a father-son getaway. Me and my 9-year-old went with me, and we loaded up the Corvette and took it on a road trip and drove to Oklahoma and back. While I was there, my grandfather was born in Pink, Oklahoma, 9/19/1919, the youngest of 19 children.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I did a little pilgrimage and a detour on the way back and went through Pink, Oklahoma, which is not even a town. It was amazing. It's just farm area. They had like a community center building and a volunteer fire department building. That was it. Not a single restaurant, not a single service, not a single gas station, no downtown, no anything. Just like literally a community building sitting up on the end of a hill on a dead end road. And I just couldn't resist. Right. I had to take a picture that had dead end sign on the front with the welcome to Pink, Oklahoma sign in the background behind it, because the correlation could not be any tighter, let me tell you. But it was fun, and you got to see the land where my grandfather was born, in a little farmhouse there. Spent a couple years there and grew up picking cotton and vegetables and fruit. And he was an Okie, right? He was an Okie picker, grew up dirt poor and made a life for himself. When he passed away, pretty much owned the town. He had all kinds of rentals and a car dealership and a gas station and multiple restaurants and multiple hotels. And he had done well for himself, but he grew up from very, very humble, meager background. And so it was important to me. I wanted to go up there and just, hang out with Tim, help his family. His sons are younger, and it's my passion in the trading is to really help the next generation understand that, you can dig yourself out of the drama that we face in this world today with economic and inflation and the Fed money printing machines spitting out $100 bills like they're going out of style. And so that was important to me. So, we had fun, and we made it a family road trip with my son, and my 9-year-old got to see that, and he got to see the impact that his dad has a little bit. And we had a fun vacation time. It was a lot of driving. Let me tell you, it was about 18 hours driving there. So a long trip, but the Corvette makes it fun.
I bet. And hanging with good people. But it's interesting that you say that, because I had that conversation, and not that this is all about the 1% and the options thing, but that's the conversation that I just had with Cupcake. Was we're looking at this because, you twisted my arm. I finally got in, and then I'm seeing it, and we're like, this is wrong. How do people not know about this? And then, and we felt actually a little bit guilty about the money we're making. And then we turned around and said, but that's why this costs more and that costs more, because these people are all making all this money on Wall Street and leaving us in the dust. So we just got to play the same game as them. And so I will say I'm a big fan. You know that.
Isn't it cool though? Because you really can position yourself as an insider, even though you're an outsider. You're an insider. The game is rigged. That Wall Street is rigged. That the markets are rigged. But yet this gives you a way to be kind of an insider to it, right? And yeah, it's this 1%, and we teach that in low stress options, right? We teach the 1% factor, and we just focus on making a 1% gain in our portfolio every week, and that's our goal. But what it really is about is patience and discipline. And I know today's episode is a little bit of a crossover, but just stick with me here, because this is all related to email, and it's a perfect correlation. So just hang with me here for a minute. But I went deep down the rabbit hole with options trading, and that has led me back to the same things that are so important in daily email. With the framework that we teach in options, anybody can be successful with it. If they've never heard of options, if you've never had a brokerage account, anybody can be successful with it, because we keep it really simple. And there's only 2 skills that you need. There's only 2 skills. And those 2 skills are patience and discipline. That's it. You don't need to be a tech whiz. You don't need to have a merchant account and a high net worth to get approved for this. And you don't have to learn how to do WordPress and security. And you don't need to become a blogger. And you don't need to learn how to upload videos and become an influencer and play with every TikTok wanagram crap on the planet to learn how to handle yourself out on social media. You don't have to do any of that. All you have to do is be willing to be patient and disciplined. And I've never considered myself to be a very patient person, right? I've never been a patient person. I learned at a very young age that life isn't for the patient. My 18-year-old sister was killed when I was 10 years old. I really didn't have much of a childhood. I grew up immediately at that point. And I learned that you needed to seize things now, because you just don't know if tomorrow's going to be here. And so that my whole life has been very driven, very focused, very high achiever kind of mode. And patience has never been my game. But when I went through and created this platform and this framework with low stress options, what I realized is that's all it was just patience. It was the patience of just sticking within the rules, playing by the framework that I developed, and then also just having the discipline to do it every week. And I've never missed a week trading. Never missed a week trading. And it's only, as you know, it only takes an hour or 2 a week. It's really, it truly is low stress, right? We're not day trading. We're not on the charts all day. So it's a small ask, but it's a consistent ask. And this is the way it is with email. Like, you're not going to just go out and write a week's worth of email and become an expert at it. This is something that you have to practice the discipline of doing consistently. Be patient, that it will take time for the results to come, Don't bank on the results. Don't count the results. Just focus on the discipline of putting in the work every single day and being effective with that and allowing it to unfold. So the crossovers have just been, to getting back to the question, what was the most unusual thing that's come through email? This is really it. It's not just about the trip. It's about the 1% mindset, this discipline and patience that I developed for options trading. What I realized is this is all a output of the same thing that I had started with inside of email. And having the patience to allow the relationships to be built, having the discipline to email frequently and consistently and let those relationships unfold, right? And then it's spilled over into everything. It's spilled over even into my health. I've dropped quite a bit of weight in the last 3 or 4 months. I've reversed my diabetes now down to pre-diabetic levels with my blood glucose. All of that has just been nothing more than 2 skills. Consistency, which is discipline, right? And patience. That's it. Patience and discipline. And if you apply this to any aspect of your life, I don't care if it's trading, I don't care if it's email or weight loss or anything else. If you just apply those 2 principles, patience and discipline, in time, you will be successful with it. I haven't set any world record pace on the weight loss. It's been 1 to 2 pounds a week. It's nothing, extraordinary, but it's consistent. And that is where the real large impact comes in time, is allowing time to do its job. We didn't get fat overnight. We're not going to get thin and trim overnight. We didn't get broke overnight. We're not going to fix our financial wealth overnight. And, we don't turn into a phenom in the email marketing space overnight either. It takes some patience and it takes a discipline of putting in that work and a consistent basis. So, that's what I would say, Jonathan, and just, shameless plug of the day. If people do want to learn more about the options, go to lowstressoptions.com and you can check that out yourself as well. It's got a great crossover for those of you that have the patience and discipline of email. I think you'll enjoy it. I know Jonathan has. I can't get him to shut up about it. I'm regretting having given him my polo now because the guy just blows up my polo all the time.
Oh, you love it. You love it. You love the attention. You love to see your fruits of your labor. But I'm gonna argue one thing because I know we got to wrap it up. But it's interesting because we talked about there not being like a easy button or a fast way to get it. But if you think about what you said earlier, the fastest way to get it is to put in the work, get the results, right? And so everybody's looking for the easy button, and you just gave it to them. Show up, do work. Show up. That's it. I mean, there's no way around that. But dude, how much easier?
Slow is fast.
Right? How much easier?
In this regard, slow is fast, right? And every email you write, when you practice the story selling kind of style that I do, every email is revealing. Every email furthers the relationship because they get to know you more. They get to trust you more. They get to know, like everybody on my list knows that I'm dealing with diabetes. I don't hide that. I don't try to put some falsetto version of myself out there. And that allows people to get to know you. Every one of those emails furthers and builds the relationship. And I think that's the power of it, right? Where slow becomes fast.
Yeah. It's incredible. What do you have coming up for us next time, Troy?
Yeah, the next one's going to be fun, Jonathan. We're going to do 3 odd and unforeseen benefits of daily email. So these are kind of not obvious or intuitive, and I think that people have fun with it.
Man, I can't wait. That is a wrap for another Go Berserk with Email show. We will be back in your earbuds next time. Thank you for tuning in.
To get a free Berserker Mail test drive with no credit card required, go to startmytestdrive.com. From there, you can play around inside the platform without pressure. Load up emails and campaigns to see how simple the interface is, and get comfy with everything before deciding to join. That's startmytestdrive.com.
This is thepodcastfactory.com.